Welcome to the Grandshelt Knights podcast, the podcast which we talk about everything Final Fantasy Brave Exvius related, with new content, units, and everything you should be in the know of. This week we got here is Awesome and Kuja.
How's it going?
Hello.
Zero was unable to make it with us this week, but this week we got ourselves mixed feelings week, in my opinion, which we are getting ourselves a raid and a rerun this week, especially
Is it
adding
really?
on.
Is it really mixed feelings? I think
I
we're
have
all kind of
mixed
in
feelings.
agreement.
For me, it's mixed.
I have mixed
I don't know.
feelings.
Well, you don't, because you just
You're
run that
heartless.
Esther hype train.
You're heartless. That's why you don't.
But yeah, this week it's kind of mixed for us, for some of us, that is. But this week we got ourselves a raid for the orders, and we got ourselves the rerun for the Final Fantasy VI dungeon, which we will talk about and what you should get in case if you haven't done it. But starting off, let's talk about the new banner for the orders. Starting off with Gallus. Kuja?
He's a 3-star physical attacker, which means he sucks. His TMR is the Big Chopper. It's 130 attack, two-handed greatsword with 10% defense, so it's mediocre.
It's pretty much a slightly better version of the chainsaw. Or is it chainsaw?
It's just got 10% defense on it, so it's
Slightly better.
But he literally has nothing good in this kit. It's absolute garbage.
Yeah, there's not really much you can say about it. There's no chaining families.
No, there's nothing. He literally has nothing in his kit. It's just like attacking moves that have nothing special about them.
It's really disappointing when they don't even give a unit a shot.
It's all about
Well, it's a
outsiders.
3-star unit, so
Well, I understand, but new people are playing the game, so...
They want some use.
Alright, well anyways, let's go to the 4 stars since this one's pretty bad.
That's when I start bringing up Medius. Shout out to Flip. Flip Method.
Oh, the
So-
cringe.
Come on.
4-star is Zolalu and Dalalu, I guess is how you say their names.
Yes.
It's a physical attacker and buffer. Its TMR is attack plus 20% and attack plus 30% with a bow, and increased spirit 40% with a harp. So it's a okay materia. It's it's good on your
pretty rough.
Ong. It's good on Ong, I guess. Other than that, no one else uses bow, so.
Well, there are other people that use bow, but it is 50%, so that is definitely a bonus, considering there isn't a bow mastery.
Right.
But I mean, with the harp, seriously, who would even bother? Because it's 40% spirit and 20% attack. What unit are you caring about spirit and attack at the same time?
Well, you're not. It would be using it for 40% spirit, and it
Elfin.
wouldn't be that good.
Attack on Elfum?
Why would you need
Sure.
it?
That's what I'm saying. The
Again, it's
20%
okay.
attack.
It's just
Yay!
there's
just
50% spirits.
I just think it's kind
of
of dumb that they split up the 20% and the 30%. It should have been 50% bow, 40% spirit. Actually, it should have been 50-50.
Yeah, it should have been
50-50.
50%
Just change
spirit
it up.
because again, 40% makes it kind of maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. Because
There's a lot of
There's a lot.
50%.
there's a lot of 50% spirits and a lot of 40% spirits that have other stuff on them that makes them better than this.
Man, who needs that whenever you can get yourself a pure attack Elfum? That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I mean, and the only redeeming, it's a singing unit. Ugh.
Here,
I mean,
just-
There's nothing redeeming about this character at all.
If you don't have a debuffer at all, the level 100 skill is not bad. Decrease defense and spirit by 50%, and decrease fire, lightning, wind, and light by 50%. Not terrible.
Only
Oh my
reason
God.
why I disagree with that is because defense and spirit break doesn't matter. You
Well,
need an
they
attack
also have a
magic
40%
break.
attack and magic break too.
Yeah, and 40%'s not good enough.
Yeah, I agree.
So
like I
again,
said,
she's a garbage debuffer. Yeah, I mean, you need 50.
together
I mean,
makes
50
us the
is even low.
strongest. How? What is
You,
that?
you
Where do
need
get that
60%. You need 60%. Like, you could sit here and sing and get that.
from? Okay, so they do have an attack and a 60% attack and magic break,
It's a song.
but it's a counter. No, the songs are buffs.
Wait. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, okay, I was reading that wrong.
And they do have a, I mean, for a beginner unit, they have a decent 3-turn singing buff. It's 80% for beginners.
Yeah,
It's very much for early players.
It's not
And she does
bad
have a
for
counter
it's
of
bad.
80%.
For starters.
For starters, it's not bad, no.
It's,
For starters,
I
it's
guess
not
you're
bad.
starting on this banner and you need a buffer, and you're scraping literally the bottom.
The last 4 banners, we haven't really got any good buffers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the worst thing ever. I mean, what was the last good buffer we got? Not 5-star.
I don't know,
Yeah, I'd actually think about that.
but there's
yeah.
a ton of them in the pool anyway.
No, I'm not arguing that fact. I'm just saying if they didn't have an option, at least this unit has a purpose other than like Gollum. And this one does have a 60% attack and magic break for counter, but her taking a hit seems kind of like bad. Yeah,
And all these units are bad.
I wouldn't really use this unit very much. Like I said, beginner buffer maybe, or beginner breaker is at most. Other than that, they have even 10 needs them. That's the sad part, and he's been out for a while.
Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy.
Timmy.
Well, so let's go from one disappointment to the next. Now we're off to
Me.
Ego.
Ego? Yeah. Well, she's a physical attacker and a debuffer. Her TMR is Whip Expert. It's 20% MP, 50% attack with a whip, and 50% true double hand. Now this is better than it was in JP. There's more true double hand on it. That still makes it mediocre.
There's more true double hand? I thought there was more attack. Whatever.
I think it's more true double hand. I think it was 25% in JP.
That'd be bad.
Which made it really, yeah. But again, it's still not that good because nobody uses a whip.
Other than her, it's basically built for her specifically and no one
Yeah.
else.
Mm-hmm.
And the kicker on her also is her STMR is Fast Flash, which is 176 two-handed whip, which
Is the
only
only-
one who's going to use it is her.
It's also the only 2-handed whip too.
Right, it's the only two-handed whip, but the only person who uses whips that would get benefit out of using two-handed whip would be her.
The only
I
one
mean-
I'd be curious about is the step up banner. I know there's a whip by pulling for her. I'm not sure if that one is a 2-handed whip or not.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not expecting much from it since it is basically a guaranteed item if you do pull for her. But
Well,
if it's 2-handed, it's going to be a low attack, and if it's high attack, it's not going to be 2-handed. So yeah.
It's a STMR.
If you're gonna use this unit, you pretty much need her STMR to make her good.
That's the one thing that really hurts Ego's kit.
Cause what's her? Can she equip anything else? I guess she can equip swords and daggers, but the only
There's bows.
2-handed
That's it.
sword is.
She gets
can
most
equip
of the
bows.
stuff.
Oh yeah, there's bows.
she can equip
Oh, there it
bows.
is. Violent tickler, or tentacler. That's the one that comes with it. It gets.
yeah.
It's a single-handed whip. I thought so.
Well, is this updated with like what potentially is going to actually be there, or is it just the only from what JP was? Because that's really low
Oh,
attack
that's
even
true.
for a single hand. I mean, it could have been buffed. I don't know.
You're right. I didn't think about that. They could have just taken the information from JP and not updated it.
Right.
Keep in mind, scroll all the way to the top. This page contains unreleased content.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the banner hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, it hasn't come out yet.
We're
But I'm not really
unofficial
expecting this
sources.
banner to change much, just because of the fact that
Yeah.
this isn't something that was hyped very much.
No. But yeah. I mean, for what she can do and what her global buffs are compared to her JP counterpart, which was significantly worse than what we got. Bar none. Like, it's not even close. Because she was a pile driver unit, and pile driver is just
It's big
garbage.
yikes.
I miss Pile Driver,
her
truthfully.
They switched her from pile driver to 18 frames, so mirror of equity is.
Sorry,
change
Kuja, one
is
second.
now-
One second. They switched her
Yeah.
thing from Absolute Mirror of Equity to, from Pile Driver to Absolute Mirror of Equity. You were
Yeah.
cutting out there a bit, so that's why I was trying to.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I think it's just.
Here, actually, you know what? No, I'm not dropping out. Discord might be cutting out.
Discord's taking a dump.
Yeah, Discord's taking a dump. Hey,
Kuj, just leave real quick and rejoin.
oh no, it's back.
There we go. Yep.
Wait,
Sorry. guys.
Sorry about that. That it just was like Discord decided to take a
The Dookie on us.
dookie. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, she used to be Pile Driver. Now she's got a more common frame, but it's only one chaining family she's on, so
yeah, I think that hurts her.
her
I
versatility
mean, it would
is
have been.
pretty low.
Yeah.
Her
Man,
modifiers
if you have
are
an Earth 18.
good. Truthfully, because 7 times with 100% Earth Break, which is really good. That's for
Yeah.
5 turns. But she is stuck on Earth, and she doesn't have
I mean,
good enough breaks. Like, they say she's a debuffer, but she pretty much only
yeah,
like-
what does she break?
she breaks resistances.
Oh, I see. Yeah. 60%. That makes her a breaker, I guess. Sure.
In a way.
Well, 60%, 100%. Yeah, she's got both those.
Oh yeah, and she can decrease ice, light, and dark by 120. That's not bad
Yeah,
for one
it's-
turn.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not.
On a
good.
random ability, it is actually bad. It's
Oh.
a random ability.
Ah, I didn't realize it was random. I thought it was a
Yeah,
cooldown.
I didn't at first either. I thought that was like an extra cooldown or whatever, but it's not. No. Yeah, so she's not really a debuffer.
Yeah, she's
She's
basically
a
just an
fake
Earth debuff. Earth
Feels
debuffer, that's
bad,
it.
man.
Batman.
Yeah,
Feels
and her
bad.
LB is just damage and it gives status ailments. And the only thing that's good about it is it unlocks triple cast for 4 turns.
Yeah, the biggest problem with status elements is the fact that nothing that's difficult in this game gets affected by statuses.
Yep.
And when I say nothing,
Yep.
I'm saying like 99% of the stuff. There's one
Yeah,
unit every
or-
once in a while that will show up.
Or the unit that can be attacked with that ailment, there's some sort of mechanic that means, you know, like Asura, where you have to blind her at 50%, and it's one of those abilities you can't just keep, you know, applying blind, or because if you do that, she's going to be immune to it, and then when you get to the turn where you hit
Need it.
yeah, where you need her to be blind, you're not going to be able to do it, and she's going to, you know, stomp you.
Raffle stomp.
But yeah, I mean, she gets some decent true double hand in her kit. She gets 100 and yeah,
It's 150 with her TMR,
Yeah,
which is not that great actually. Like,
no, it's okay. I mean, the thing is, the
it's average.
problem
it's-
with her is you kind of need her STMR, and yeah,
either
there's
need
no
an
point
I
in
mean-
pulling.
You could use a bow, I guess, which does work. It's just the fact that you lose a lot of attack. And when I say a lot of attack, I mean at least 70%. Like, just a glance here.
Yeah, because you got
Yeah, 70% attack you lose by using something other than a whip.
Yep.
Anyways,
yeah. She's just not that great.
I would not pull on her banner. Because they do have 2 separate banners for Nagi and Yigo, and she doesn't have anything to benefit really
Anybody else but
anyone.
herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with her, with the units that we currently have, there's a lot of old units that outdamage her, unfortunately. And this banner probably should have came out a month ago, but
Raise collaborates.
Yeah, it should come out before Zeno Gears,
Axstar.
probably. Yeah. Well, definitely before Axstar, but even before Zeno Gears.
yeah. Anyway, next unit, which is
This is the one that me and
serviceable.
yes, it's very
Yes.
serviceable. In my opinion, as a
Serviceable.
magic user, she's very serviceable. She can't keep up with the physical damage dealers in this game, but as a magic user, I think she's good. She needed to be great though to like stand out.
Yeah.
She doesn't stand out at all at this current setting.
Yep.
With their TMR, we have the Black Fox Shapeshifter Mask, which is better than it was in JP, but it is attack 40, defense 10, magic 40, spirit 12.
Yeah.
Um,
Mediocre.
It's good for a hybrid,
Mediocre.
but it's pretty
I like
mediocre because
it.
you can find higher attack or magic stats on
Pretty easily.
if you're going for single stat.
Mhm.
But you don't build hybrids usually. Both elements, you
both.
usually build them single element, or not elements, single stat. You
Stat.
usually go magic or attack. You can
Mhm.
go both, and there are certain cases where it is good to go both, so this hat does help with that. But it's very uncommon that you would want to go both. Her STMR, which is fantastic,
Mhm.
is increasing attack and magic by 40% and increasing equipment attack and magic by 50%.
Yep. Now, it is extremely good. I wouldn't recommend trying to pull for it.
Because, you know, pulling for STMRs.
Is not a good smart thing.
Right.
Unless you're being left out.
That's
Yeah, but I
fair.
mean, you could get lucky, I guess, on her step up, but I still don't think she's worth even doing her step up. In her kit, she's got decent chaining frames. She's got a couple divine ruination abilities. She's got graviton cannon, which makes her chain with 2B, which is kind of nice to finally have somebody. Yeah. And she also has aerial array,
Which is
with
probably one of the
pretty
highest
high
attack
modifier. Yeah.
aerial arrays in the game.
Yeah.
Modifier wise, anyways.
Just like
Dark
behind
damage
dark.
though.
Well, she's perfect to work with, what's her face? What's the bird
Malphys.
lady? Malphys, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Malphys.
the biggest problem with her right now, as she is she has two elements as good chaining abilities. Her graviton cannon is non-elemental, which kind of hurts. But because she's hybrid, you can add an element if you want
Yeah, I was
to
gonna say it could help.
by equipping. And then she has an ice ability, which is a finisher. She also has a dark finisher, but yeah. Her modifiers are very good. They're
Yeah.
very comparable to our current game content, but as a hybrid, she's more difficult to build, especially if you want to try to build her magic.
Yeah, I mean,
If I was to
yeah,
pull for
she's
her,
okay.
I would be pulling for her to be a magic chainer, not a physical chainer,
Yeah.
because if I wanted a
Yeah,
physical chainer, A, Xenos banners still out, and B, I already pulled on
Esther.
Esther, yeah.
And the thing is, like, the hybrids a lot of the time can't hang with the physical DPS. They can hang more with the magic DPS.
You're not cool enough.
And there's very few fights where you need.
Well, she could hang.
A
She could
hybrid.
hang with the physical DPS if you have the ridiculous
if you-
amount of gear it'll take to make her hang out with the physical DPS. Because her being a hybrid, it does require a lot, and the reason why she can hang with the magic is because her modifiers are very high for magic damage.
Yeah.
Physical damage, it's her modifiers are not top tier, but she's high tier for the modifier wise. But she's going to be difficult to build.
Yep.
and that is probably
Being a hybrid.
It's a hybrid. It's the biggest weakness of the hybrid. You have a lot of versatility, but they're very difficult to build.
Yep.
Her equipment selection is pretty good. Daggers, swords, and katanas make it really easy to build. But you also have fists, so you can use Malphase's fists. But the problem with Malphase's fist is there's no magical materials to go for it.
Right.
She also has whips and rods, which are common magic. So, except there's no materia for whips, really, for magic.
No, but if you go whip rod, you could max her magic out pretty easily.
I think the best option would probably go rod, sword, because you have letters of arms and multiple rods.
I mean, there's a lot of rod abilities, so you could get, if you had, depending on your equipment, you could throw rods in there and then have whatever your best magic is on another weapon, and it's most likely going to be a whip.
Yeah, it could work. But anyways, her passives are really good. So she has 100% equipment. This is attack, but I'm pretty sure it's both. Because if they didn't do that, it would be dumb.
Well, she gets magic at 120, that's why.
Yeah.
She does get both.
She does get both. It's, okay. That kind of hurts, actually.
The attack requires her to have her at TMR, which is bad in my opinion. But I mean, I'm not a fan of her TMR. I don't think it's that good.
I like her TMR.
It's pretty good.
I think you're gonna want to use something else. I mean, the only thing is that sucks is that it's you'd lose out on 50% attack and magic without using her TMR.
And you'd lose the killers, and there's a lot of killers in there. Demons, humans, and undeads are very common wanted killers. So with her kit, she has a decent amount of a base percentage passive attack and magic. She has killers, and she has true dual wield for 100%. It's good,
Yeah, for both.
but the
You're
big
talking
problem,
about her ability, yeah.
yeah, her passives. The biggest problem with this is we don't have any magic true dual wield except for
STMRs?
one STMR.
Two.
That is who else?
Hers too. Hers.
Oh, sorry, hers. Derp.
Hers and
Sorry.
Christine's.
So hers and Christine's. So Christine's is 50% as well, as I'm assuming.
No, it's 30.
Okay, so you can't even max it currently.
Nope.
And then if you're going the attack route, which, ouch, there's a few of them, but they're all very low percentage. Like there's Aloha Laswell, which means if you get 2 Aloha Laswells, you can stack an extra 30%. Because it's 15%.
I mean, it's
each.
gonna be it's super hard to max out true dual wield at this time because
Which
we
is
don't have
why
stuff for it.
Which is the reason why Xenos was really good.
Yeah, because he had already capped it without anything basically, or his TM.
But yeah, she's good with her a fist too. See, look right there, she's got bonuses with a fist, so she will benefit a lot with what's her name's TMR. She gets an extra 40% attack and magic. Oh, and an extra 20% magic with Malphase's fist, if you're gonna use that. But she's a very good unit. She's got 50% to LB damage, so and her LB damage is 30 times.
Yeah, she comes out too late is her problem.
Yeah,
Remember,
she did come out too late. Like I said though, if you're gonna build her magic, I could see her still being a very good unit. If you're gonna build her physical, pull on Xenos' banner instead. It's just more worthwhile.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, if you need a DPS, pull on the other banner. It's much better. I mean, and this thing is like you can get free TMRs from the raid because it's obviously gonna have the Moogles in it. So I mean, I honestly I wouldn't even pull it all on this banner. I would just save the Moogles, and when you pull them off banner, that's when you use them. Because again, all of these TMs are skippable for sure, and because most of them are only good for the unit. I would even still say Nagi's is only good for her because of her bonus from her TMR.
So for me, I think that if you really want Nagi, which if you don't have a good magic user, she's worth pulling for. If you have Sophia or Ellie, she's probably not worth pulling for. But if you do not have either of those units and they are limited time, Nagi might be worth pulling for. That's my opinion.
The only problem with Nagi as a magic damage dealer is she's not gonna chain with the other mages. So you're gonna have to find somebody else with a Nagi to chain with, or Malfeas.
Yeah, Nagi or Nelfies. I understand. And she's probably
Or
less
no.
common, but still. She can still, if you just need someone to help work on the chain, there are plenty of Divine Ruination chainers, and there are plenty of... Well, there's one Graviton chainer, but there's Areola chainers quite a bit too. So, as a magic damage dealer, I think she's fine. I think she's a good magic damage dealer. I don't think she can keep up with the current physical meta, though. Even close.
Oh, not even close. She's like maybe.
What do you think, Panda? Do you think it's worth pulling on this banner?
Well, I'm a fan of weird, awkward units, and I make use of them a lot.
Yeah, I do that too. I still like Lila, even though everyone hates her for some reason.
Kuja.
Because she's awful. That's why.
She's not awful.
She is.
But how I see this, I would use her. I don't care about like true dual wield cap about it. She has
It's not.
pretty good
It's not about.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Would you pull for her?
I'm getting to that. What I'm trying to say about it. My opinions on it. She may not be able to reach the true dual wield cap now for magic and attack at the same time, but eventually we're probably going to be getting a time unit that is going to have that, and a lot of people are going to try to get it because there might be a saving grace for a future unit. Chaining wise, I don't mind it for the mods she has. It's pretty high, and especially having still some DR frames. I still use DR units at times, so that's still a plus. Just that AR chaining ability is what kind of throws me off, because if you're gonna be using her with like say like Malphase, you'd have to go in a weird rotation in a way.
Yep.
Why would you have to do a weird rotation now? Malphase has Dark Areola Ray by herself.
Well, I'm saying like to gain the benefit of the 100% imperil.
You'd have to do
Oh, the 100% peril. Okay.
And
Yeah,
she
sure.
doesn't have double cast to do
Yeah,
both at the
the
same
ability.
time. So
That's what's gonna hurt a bit.
yeah,
but
that's what's gonna hurt her damage, at least in the beginning.
besides that, I would pull for her if I were you, honestly. Every unit is good. It's just they've just been power crap.
Yep,
Like I've used
that's-
previous units before, like Iridia. Nobody liked Tornado as much, and I just did trials with her and other Tornado chainers. Boy, that was a trip. But yeah, she's good. I liked her. I liked her in JP.
Yep. Alright. Well, I guess let's talk about their raid banner. Orders and the Magitech Ruins.
Woohoo!
Sorry, I had to say it weird.
It's a door. It's
It's a door!
It can see into your
Yeah.
soul. It can see into your soul.
It's gonna be the same normal raid
Raid
rewards. The raid summon is gonna be the same as it normally is. It's gonna have the Moogles in it for the units on the banner. So no real change with there. The
Okay.
big the big craftable from this event is the Yin Yang ornament, and it's
I like
kind
it.
of crappy.
Quick side
I
note.
like it.
This
Sorry.
has not been updated from past the Xeno Gears banner, so just ignore what's on the screen right now. They haven't updated it.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same, but like some of the Xenogear stuff's gonna be switched with the stuff.
We
from
don't
this
know what piece of item we're gonna get, because they usually give us something.
Oh, you
Another
mean like the
gun
free
gear.
3-star TMR? Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what
Another
that's gonna
gun
be.
gear.
Oh my
But-
gosh, though.
Gun gears.
These craftables are bad.
only for beginners is where I put this at. Only
Yep.
for beginners.
Well,
You say it's bad, but people make use of it still.
Yeah, no, again,
You
yeah, if you're
You'd be surprised on how many people on my friends list still use a lot of this free gear.
free
Okay,
gear's
so
one thing, but these
the
are
only-
like
the only one
bad.
that
This is free gear, sir.
yeah, the only
I
thing
understand that, but there's a lot better free gear around than this raid, especially recently.
So the Aldor special ops sword, that's low attack and it has no bonuses, which is the problem. If they
Makes
gave
that
it
bad.
something else, like an element, it'd be nice.
Or killer or something, it'd be okay.
Yeah. The gun,
Same
I mean,
thing.
same thing. It's because it's non-elemental that these kind of fall off. But these two, they can be used for newbies. I mean, this can be used for newbies, but I think within like the third island, you already bypass this attack, so.
Yep. Yeah.
Access to satellite. Access to
By the first island, you can find a weapon that has a better attack just by doing the missions.
True, but I'm talking just like in a store.
in general.
That's why I don't consider it good. If this can get beat out by a store within the first 3 islands, that's where I'm like, that's when I kind of put it in the bad category.
Mm-hmm. And then the elite dog tag is
It's fine.
percentage.
It's
It's
a
percentage
attack.
on an accessory though, which kind of is not as good as flat
Well,
attack.
You're getting to use the true double hand and true dual wield.
Mhm.
Not everybody has that, and if they're new, 20% attack and defense is pretty decent because they're not going to have the rings that we have currently and stuff like that. So it's fine. It's not great. This is definitely a very early player gear piece.
Which once again, I would bring up. I still have friends that still don't have the right gear, and they still use this stuff.
Yep.
And they're rank 168.
And this one does also have attack and magic 25. That's pretty. That's fine. On an HP 100, yeah. Let's put that on a Liquid Bell slime. By the way, I'm giving the ridiculous face and the double thumbs up.
God.
Yeah, I'm just
Give
being
it-
dumb.
Buddy Jesus.
Yep, the buddy Jesus.
But on top of that, this week we are getting a rerun of the Final Fantasy VI event. So the Final Fantasy VI units, Transterra, Kefka, Setzer, and regular Terra,
And Gao.
And Gal.
and Gal. Yeah, all have bonuses, and again, totally depends on
If you did it or not.
if you did it or not. Like if you did it and maybe you missed something, you can go back and get it. The good item here is the tabby suit, and I would say the tabby suit is way better than any of the items that you're gonna get from
The story.
this event. No, just this raid. It's way
Oh,
better.
Yeah, it actually
Way
is.
better. It's not even close. It's not even close. And that item is like 2 years old. Or whatever.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I kind of say that it's really hard to say the items in this current raid are good. Is because this one does definitely outshine
Yeah, I
it.
mean, again,
The hat's
like
okay. It is 10% magic, but there's a lot more hats available currently through the story to get higher. So I wouldn't say it's worth going for. Because yes, you might see this 3,000 and say that's not very much, but you also have to remember that back in the day, rare
lot.
drops were very uncommon. You used to have to farm hard to just get the tickets and maybe the tabby suit. Like getting this, the attack
You would have to
15%.
say you would go for the tickets with the tabby suit first.
yeah, it was bonus mobs were rare, and there was no legendary stage. So you're probably farming. You're gonna farm it on elite, which is
20 energy.
25, I think.
whatever it is.
13.
Yeah,
For
so
those-
13 energy. I mean, again,
Wow,
it's
that's
gonna
even
take you a
less
lot
than
longer.
legendary. Okay.
But
Uh,
again, it's all kind of scaled to that. But
But yeah, if you're looking at the items in this and saying, should I get it? I would say get the tabby suit and the tickets. Maybe the beret. I'd pass on pretty much everything else.
yeah,
Even the Moogle, because of how hard it is to farm 30,000 fish. Unless you have a lot of these units.
Yeah, I was gonna say the units here have been around forever, so there's a chance that there's a pretty good chance you're gonna have.
But
Hey,
do not get this 15% attack. That is a ripoff.
Yep.
Oh, just saying for now. Next week for the challenge part, it's a pretty good reward. Rogue
I don't-
with 30 magic, 30 spirit, 20% MP, and 40
Do they
defense.
rerun the challenge events? I don't think they do.
Yes, they do.
I don't think
They're
they
gonna
have
rerun the
yet.
Kefka one, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
they-
actually a really
they
good
should
robe.
be.
It is a
Yeah.
good row if they run it. I'm just saying I don't think they've ran the challenge stage for an old event yet.
Oh, and by the way, Nelipus was actually pretty difficult back in the day. But with 7 stars, you might not have an issue. But if you don't have
Yeah.
the 7-star, I'd probably not attack it.
Well, you also have to realize that we had a crappy version of Transterra too. She didn't have enhancements.
That's true.
So,
I don't know. I'd say see how you could do because it was difficult at the time.
yeah, I don't think you're going to have a problem now. Because, I mean, even if you had, enhanced Transterra at 6 stars probably still going to be able to just dump on this one. So,
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
saying, by the way, the other events that we had, those did not have a phase 2, like a second week.
are you sure?
I'm looking back at the old one for the Final Fantasy Type 01. There's no part 2.
Okay. Also, another note that you might not remember this. They're gonna show up in the round and they will take over the round. They won't expand the round. So instead of
Yeah.
you'll always get the same amount of rounds every time.
Yep.
It's just that whatever round they show up on, they will replace the units. The only round that they won't ever show up on is on the final round.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun.
And Ultima's easy to kill.
Yeah, I don't think. I personally pretty sure I beat it. I think maybe. I think the only thing I missed was a tabby suit.
No, I got everything. I'm not even gonna bother with it. If
So I
someone
might
needs
run it a few times.
if
and
someone
get
needs a
tabby suit,
Transterra, I
so-
can help. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, the Psycho Clown. That's what it was. Yeah, this was the extra thing, and this is the Great Mage's robe. It was very nice. What do you, if you're looking for some help and you don't have this for the MP, what's it called? Parameter. This is very useful. There's not very many.
So good.
There's not many armor pieces that have MP on it, but there are some.
I think that's pretty much it for this week, right? I mean, I
We'll
guess.
let 'em
Well,
walk back.
We were going to
We're
talk about the
No,
banning
banner.
that might be coming.
Oh yeah. So
Again,
Truthfully,
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it if you
No.
are not like constantly buying back money. If it shows up commonly on an account, they might start to suspect something. So
Yeah.
if you're not doing that or you're not buying third party, you should be perfectly fine. Even if you get a couple of them, I highly doubt because I've had technically chargebacks,
yeah.
but it was because of a glitch in their system that something got screwed up, and they told me to go through Amazon. So if they've told
Good-
people
yeah.
to do that, then it's on them for whatever
Yeah,
happens
and
afterwards.
the thing is, Gumi has to be careful also because if they ban accounts, you know,
They shouldn't be.
right? If they ban it, that's going to be a huge issue for them. So they have to make sure that they're banning people that are being abused. But they did say suspending people too. So if you know, and I think it's going to be more of a recent thing. If you had something way in the past, like 6 months, a year ago, where you didn't, you bought something and you were double charged, or you bought something and didn't get the stuff and you had to go and either get a refund or talk with their with the support to get what you paid for. I don't think that's something that's going to be an issue. It's going to be the people that are constantly buying lapis, pulling, getting a chargeback on their account. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So if you don't get caught and you've done that before, I would recommend stopping unless you are okay with basically losing your account.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're cracking down more on it.
Yep, because I think
Well, they have
during
to.
the Esther banner, I think a lot of people were like, oh, well, I'm going to go, hey, they changed the units at the last minute. Oh my god! And knowing that they're just gonna go spend it and then charge back that, be like, oh,
Well, technically, if they also don't like step down on this, people are going to abuse the system and they're going to eat the cost.
yep,
Because if you pull and you don't lose anything when you do a chargeback, they're losing money.
yep.
Well, not technically, because it's piracy. It's a tough subject because technically they might not have ever bought it, but then they're also playing the game and affecting other people's accounts. So
They get shammed.
yeah.
And a lot of people are saying it's for third party. I don't think that'd be the way that it was written. I don't think it's for third party.
Well, no, the third party
stuff.
is the way it does it. So technically, third
Well-
parties, what they do is you give someone your account and then they buy lapis
Yeah.
using stolen credit cards, and when the stolen
Right.
credit cards do chargebacks, that's
Mhm.
how. That
No,
would
that's
show up
true.
multiple chargebacks. So this would also step down on that if that's.
Well, a lot of the time it's not. They don't use the credit card themselves. They use the stolen credit card to buy gift cards. Then they use the gift cards to do this.
Yep.
That's what they do a lot. So the chargebacks coming on like when they buy their Amazon gift card.
Yeah. So Amazon
So-
is technically eating the cost, and Gumi would eat the cost depending on how they do it.
Yeah, well, it would mainly be Amazon eating that cost because the chargeback's going to come to Amazon, not.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I think what happens is Amazon will, if it's a common occurrence, they will start like, you either need to handle this or we're gonna stop doing something.
Yeah.
So that might be why they're stepping up, or they're just trying to. Because if Amazon's paying for it, then why would they care?
Well, I
Unless-
mean, it's not just Lapis resellers doing it. That's the thing.
I know.
It's people that go and they buy the Lapis, do their pulls. Like, I didn't get what I want. This is bullshit. And go get a chargeback.
I know, but if that would be Amazon eating the cost then too.
Right, until they turn around and say, "Hey, look,
Which is why
give
I'm
me my
saying
money
they're
back.
probably Amazon's probably starting to do that. That's why I'm thinking they might be stepping up again.
oh yeah, I'm sure they are, or they wouldn't be complaining about it.
It's
Because Amazon doesn't like if there's a $20 chargeback, they're not going back to Gumi for it. Not unless it's a
Consistently
lot more than
happening.
20. Not unless it's a lot more than $20. Because they'll
It's
give.
like
I mean, they will
$100.
do.
Ooh boy.
If you go and say, hey, I didn't get this and whatever, they will. But when it's thousands and thousands of dollars getting charged back within a small period of time, they will go back to Gumi and say, hey, look, you owe us this money. These are refunds.
Yep, that's why I think they're doing it right now. But I don't think anybody, as long as you're not abusing the system, will
Because I
have
think
any issues.
I think what it was is a lot of people abused the system on the Esther banner, figuring that they could say, "Oh well, they changed the units, so I didn't really mean to pull, so I'm gonna get chargebacks. Even though I pulled and got all these units, I'm gonna still get the chargeback anyway."
But yeah,
It's very shady.
Yep.
I mean, in reality, if you're gonna do this, you're kind of a mean person.
Dirtbag.
Because you're gonna end up forcing everyone else to end up paying for it, because Gumi's gonna assume it as a loss, and if they take it as a loss, everyone else ends up having to pay for it.
Just look at their stocks right now.
Are they bad?
Oh, you should have a look.
I'll pass. Anyways, I think that's it. Was there anything else you
yeah.
guys want to bring up?
That's it.
That-
No.
Actually, they've been going positive now for the past.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It is.
they're not doing bad. It's not their mobile division that's doing bad. It's their other games, and they're spending a lot of money because they're spending a lot of money on FF7 remake.
Oh, are they
So-
working on the FF7 remake?
Yeah, well, they've been working on it, but
Yeah.
Well, I
it's
didn't
the
actually
same
look.
years.
I
And
didn't
think
look
they-
into who was doing it. I've just been kind of cringing and waiting and hoping they don't screw it up.
And they've also been putting money into probably FF16 as well.
Oh, you're talking about Square Enix then, not Gumi.
Yeah, not Gumi.
Yeah, not Gumi.
I thought
It's
you said
not Gumi's.
Gumi. That's what I was like.
It's not Gumi. It's not Gumi's financials that came out. It was Square Enix's.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's all we got for this week. Just keep in mind, all this data is due to
it's subject to change.
Yeah, so
It's subject to change. I don't think this banner
I don't
will,
think it's likely. Yeah, I don't think it's likely.
but it
don't
could.
go fighting after us. Don't hunt us down. But
Someone's tired.
thank you. Yeah, you can tell. Thank you guys for joining us this week. Next week we'll be back. We'll cover over the fight for Kefka for the Final Fantasy VI rerun and the trial for the raid, and to see what else we get next week. Make sure you guys do your item world, get your orbs on, get as many
Likely to be
rows.
a Mog King event next week.
I think it's gonna be probably Probably
FF7,
Aerith.
likely. Yeah. Because we know it's going to be a Mog King event because we get that 5-star plus the UOC. So it's going to be a Mog King event. So it could be.
That's gonna be a new system, by the way. Next week is when we're gonna get the new system of a Mod King
What do you mean?
event points.
Ooh.
Oh, well, no. Weren't we supposed to have event points before?
Nope.
No, they didn't have it before.
Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, they had a different way of doing it. You had to do the daily to build up the points for the ticket before. We didn't get that. They decided not to do that. They decided to put it in the actual.
Yeah, which is better in my opinion. I mean,
I'd
it's
rather.
more stuff to grind, but you can get it a way quicker.
Here's the thing. When they used to do it, you just only had to sign on, do the daily mission for 8 days, and that's it.
That was it. Yeah.
And it took 8 days to get. Where now you can get it on the first day.
Yeah, but newbies would like it not have to
Cost
pay for that,
efficiency.
and yeah,
Yeah.
not everybody can
Hey.
burn that much energy.
But that wraps it up for this week. We'll see you guys next week. Anything else from you guys?
Nope, that's it.
Nope, that's good.
Alright. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Or a good week. Take it
Have a
easy.
great week.